Hello guys, this is Do-It-Yourself Harley, back once again with another video for you. And I've decided to go ahead and put these cylinders back on. As you can tell, I painted these pretty bad boys up. This is a regular old flat black. After I sanded them down real good, took me a little while to get all the flakes off and everything like that. But of course I taped the tops, taped the bottoms, and we're going to be putting these back on. So, just make sure my camera angle's good, which I believe it is. Okay. But, well, I went ahead and put the gaskets on. Of course, I had to remove the two lifter blocks because they were going to be in the way. And I'll sort those out later. But what we're going to do here is we're going to go ahead and put the rear cylinder on. Make sure it's actually facing the correct direction. Of course, we got to rip the tape off and everything too, so make sure you do that. Rip the tape off. I'm going to leave it just a flat black. I particularly like flat black myself. If I had a choice, I'd do the whole bike in flat black, but the woman wouldn't let me do that. So, yeah. Better listen to her. Okay. So, these cylinders should be the same. We just got to make sure we put them in the right slots, in the right spots. Trying to compare them here, just in case I missed something, which I didn't mark them like an idiot. It's one of those things where I forgot again. So we're gonna have to just hopefully put them on correctly. Like I said, when I moved them, I didn't mark them. I had them basically positioned where I wanted them, and I moved them over to the other thing where I painted them. And I forgot that when I brought them back to label them cylinder 1, cylinder 2. So let's see if I can find a distinguishing mark that I can remember which one goes on where. I do remember that the front one did have a lot more leftover casting when it was cast. It had a lot where the seams were, and that one's definitely probably not it. So the front cylinder is definitely this one, I believe. Guess we'll find out. So, get myself an idea here. Make sure. Leave. Gotta be distinguishing factor that separates these. They both look exactly the same. Well, for the most part, they both look exactly the same. Yeah. Yeah, they're both exactly the same at the top, but one's going to allow the valves to be able to slide right in the correct positions. So like I said, kicking myself in the butt now. I don't know. Should have made that clear before I did this. Which, this one is the back one, of course. It's got a bigger front piece than it does back piece. So this one's definitely the back. So you can tell right there. See how big that is versus that one. It's not the same size. got just a little bit shorter. And so that tells me right there, according to these bolts, they're a lot further apart. Now there's no way to get that turned around or anything like that, so, but still preferably mark them. So what we're going to do is, we got some regular old white lithium grease. I paid $3.99 for it, which is kind of retarded because I bought it from the corner gas station. But because this thing's been sitting with no oil, we want some kind of lubrication. We're going to spray a little bit down here. And no, it doesn't hurt anything, contrary to popular belief. Doesn't hurt a damn thing. We just want to make sure we get it good and coated in there. It'll dissipate. And then of course we want to do the pistons themselves. So make sure we have piston grooves altered or offset, meaning that this little groove here needs to be opposite of the other little groove, or where the rings are. We'll spray a little bit on here, give it a little bit of lube. Like I said, it's just enough to provide enough lubrication to where it'll last until the motor finally gets the oil up there. Definitely got to have that. If you don't, you're going to screw yourself over big time. So I got my trusty ring compressor, and there's a certain way to put it on there, but I don't remember, to be completely honest with you. I think it's this way. Nope, it's not that way. It's this way. So you just hold it on there like that, on the lower ring, or the upper ring, I mean. And I use a screwdriver myself. And just screw it down until basically, apparently my screwdriver does not like me. I'm going to grab another screwdriver. Okay, so yeah, my other screwdriver actually was right next to me, so, real well. Screw it down where it's kind of loose, kind of not. Make sure, this is a rather cheap ring compressor, so it's nothing too fancy. I think I only paid like $6, not even that. So, screw it down just enough to where you can actually freely move this. You don't want to tighten it too much, because then you, of course, well, naturally, you will go slide it on there. So we're going to coat the cylinder also with the white lithium grease. That's going to help us get it on there. Once it goes in, it's not too bad. Okay, so there's that. And did I grab the right one? Upper side. Nope, I did not grab the right one. Okay, here's the right one. Yeah, okay. So, it's kind of a pain, like I said. Oh, well, no, I gotta spray this one. Spray the wrong one. And like I said, that's going to do is it's going to enable it to slide on there a little bit easier. So, just balance it up here. And then just start slowly scooting it on there. If you can manage to get the motor stopped spinning. And I think I already messed it up. Yes, I did. I slid it on too far. Okay, so basically, you're going to restart that. Okay, so allow it to get bigger. I think they could have invented something different, but apparently not. pain in the butt. But that's alright. Make sure your openings are opposite of each other. Moving around. Okay. They're opposite of each other now. They're on there. Oh, goodness gracious. Work with the hair. Missing my little tool for this. I have no idea where it went to. That's what happens when you got kids. So I'm kind of having to do this ghetto. It's alright. Okay. We need to give it one more good turn. Stupid thing will let me. Okay. So let's try this again. Okay, I think we got both rings in there, I think. Let me check this side here. Yes, both rings are in there. Get a little wiggle. And I think we're in business. There we go. And it's on. There we go. Let's slide that down. Slide that in there. And we're good to go. Open up the expander. Come on, they go. Okay. And there it goes. And that's it. So now, piston's on. Put your pistons in there. And you just slide it down nice and easy. Make sure you put your gaskets on. Make sure you put them on the correct way. There's actually only one way. They're kind of dummy proofed. Okay. So we made it this far. So now, what I want to do too is, I wish I had a little nozzle for this thing. Let's see if we can figure something else out. Okay, well, what I'm going to have to do is, right here in this groove, it's going to help that slide in a little easier. So what we want to do is, we're just going to spray a little WD-40. It's not the greatest thing to use, but it'll work. Try not to get on your gasket too much. We just want a little bit of lubrication to be able to get that, slide that down in there. Most people will use motor oil, like that. Which you can. keep pushing down. There she goes. And she's on. That's all there is to it, sliding it in there, pretty much. And of course you take your bolts. They're torqued. These bolts are torqued at 30 foot-pounds, by the way, for anybody that wants to know. Now, 30 foot-pounds, you can feel that by hand. That's not good. Ah, crap. Yeah, when you're reassembling, just make sure you don't do what I just did. Okay, there we go. Yeah, just make sure you don't do that. You can damage stuff sometimes if you're not paying attention, which I wasn't, of course, but it happens. I'm spray a little bit of this white whipping grease in here. Make sure it's lubricated real good. But back to what I was talking about. A human could feel 30 foot-pounds, and easy, too easy, you know. And I like to do a method called, just get it snug, and then do 2 90-degree turns, and it'll get you roughly close. You can try to get a torque wrench in there. You won't be able to do it. That's the problem. There's no way to get a torque wrench in there to be able to torque those down. There's probably some kind of super specialty tool it's used for. I'm not even going to bother, because like I said, I can feel that. And I'll give you guys an idea of what that is. Like I said, I go around, I'll snug them all up. As soon as I get this one on here. Does look like I got the right cylinders on the right spot from what it looks like. So, good shape there. Put the gloves back on. All this crap all over me. Okay, so they're snug down. They're not necessarily snug. Basically, they're tightened by hand. Then I'm just using my thumb. Usually, you want to do this on the bike. Just use your thumb, kind of push, get them all to a certain snugness with your thumb or your first finger. Doesn't really matter. Just use a finger. As soon as you start to get to the point where it's like, can't do this no more, that's probably the point you want to stop. Sorry about my hat, but try to give y'all an idea. Pretty much till your finger says, I can't do it no more. Now if you're He-Man, or you're just super extra freaking strong with your fingers, you might want to try a different method. Like I said, basically it's just my pull method. Once I start to feel it, it kind of starts to hurt a little bit. That's when I stop. That's it. And the reason why you do this is because there's no way to get a torque wrench in here, unless there's some kind of specialty tool that I don't know about. Okay, now that I've got them all basically finger snug, I'm going to pick a point and I'll go 90 degrees. So I'll go pretty much up to this bolt here. Reach down. And of course that's probably more than 30 pounds. Most likely. So it shouldn't be too bad. So we'll do the same thing to this one. That's actually about 45 degrees. It's actually about 45. So same thing to this one. Yeah, it's about 45 degrees. And I gotta get a different angle here. Okay, that's pretty much it. And if you've got a good clean surface and all that good stuff, you shouldn't have a problem. Just go around and make sure that there's no loose ones. But like I said, they are 30 foot-pounds. Which, like I said, you can do that, feel that yourself. 30 foot-pounds is not a lot. We'll roll back up our ring compressor here. And I would recommend wearing gloves because this, I think, right edges will cut you. They will cut you bad. Been there, done that. So, back up, span the ring out, and then pretty much ready to start again. I can go ahead and do that, actually. Might as well. We'll make sure our rings are opposite of each other. Oil ring's not too critical of a situation, I guess, to make it opposite. This time, instead of using WD-40, we're going to use the white lithium grease and spray it on the inners right there. Okay, so now, get my ring compressor out. And you gotta be a pain. Oh, it does got a flat tip screwdriver spot on it. I thought it did. On the opposite side. Oh, it's one of those days. Be alright, I guess. Screw it down far enough. Make sure you put these on the right side. Well, I'll spray my piston. Move it up a little bit. You can also use petroleum jelly, things like that. Just any sort of lubrication that's going to last a little bit while the engine warms itself up. Get it on there nicely. Screw in the proper end. Of the ring compressor. It never sounds good. Ever notice that? It's like making all these grunting noises at you. It just never sounds too healthy. At least my ring compressor don't. Okay. So we're pretty much, probably need to give it one more little tick. One way. So that right there. Pick up your cylinder. Start loading her on there. Oh crap, gotta do it again. Missed the second ring. Okay, like I said, you just have to start over again if you miss. Just the way it works. I'll bring her up there, get her lined up correctly. Start screwing her down. And don't try to force it. Just let it kind of slide a little bit. Don't want to force things. Give it a little turn here, make sure I'm good. Try this again. And it may take 2 or 3 tries for you to get it on there. Sometimes it just doesn't want to go. Okay, got that on there. Okay, now we're working on the oil ring here. And I don't think we got it on that other side. I don't think so. What are we stuck on? It doesn't look like we're stuck on anything. Okay, we're not stuck. Good. It's just tough to get on. Okay. Let that take a rest there. Undo the quick clip. Like that. And there she is. Slide the cylinder down. Doesn't hurt to slide them up and down just to see if everything's moving correctly. Get caught on this gasket over here. So, figure out what's wrong with that. So try not to damage anything. There it is. Just slid right on. There she is. So, use lubrication and yeah, make your life a hell of a lot easier. Now what I'm going to do is, I'm going to take some motor oil. I'm just going to tighten, not fully tighten, but I'm just going to tighten these bolts down a little bit. And what I'm going to do is, I'll spray the cylinders in here and then rotate the motor over to make sure that everything is getting properly lubricated. And if I feel that there's a little bit too much resistance in it, something just doesn't feel right, like a ring got separated or come out while I was sliding it down, which is possible. But it went down relatively easy, so it should be pretty good. Oh, camera moved. Okay. So, like I said, I'm going to do my finger tightening here. rotate the motor over because it still should be in 5th gear. See if I can get it to rotate. There we go. Oh yeah, she's rotating real smooth, real easy. Not too bad at all. Pistons, everything's good. Let me get them down